Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was having technical difficulties, so I'm going to see if I can. I want to make sure I can see my chat because my computer was just giving me fits a second ago. There. Oh, okay. Mine came out. My hello came out. Who is joining us today? I see a couple people on the line. Sorry for my junk back here. My daughter's been cleaning out her room, and it's kind of messy in there, so she brought the mess into me in here. Wasn't that nice of her? She wants to make her drawers into shelves. I don't know. So we got one more minute, then we'll officially get started with our 20-minute. And I got a couple things to talk to you guys about. I see one person's here. Happy Wednesday WIP Knockout Wednesday. Oh, waiting. I'm so sorry. I'm still new to all this. And do you mean my live, Fran, from last week? Are you able to jump on one that's already been done? That I did not know. Because I made one on Sunday for this week, and I thought that's the one that I got on. I don't know. So it's 2:05. So let's just jump right in and then we'll chat. Let me set my alarm. 20 minutes. Okay, you got me for the whole time now. Fran, if you excuse me for 1 minute, I got to let my dog back in. That was another reason I was having some issues. I'll be right back. Okay. I am so sorry, everybody. But Fran is here. Um, Somebody else is here. Maybe that's me counting as a person. I don't know. But we started our 20 minutes. So let me tell you what's been happening. It is hot here today. It's like close to 90. Our nice fall weather is kaput for now. So I let the dog outside, and I didn't want her out there too long because she gets overheated quick. So I let her out for a while, and of course she wouldn't come back in before I wanted to get started with you guys. And excuse me, so I had to go get her. So let's see. How are you, Fran? I'm sorry there was a mix up with technical difficulties, but that does happen, I guess, time to time. Okay, you're Z good. All right. I know. That's funny. Oh. So yeah, I just let my puppy. I don't know if you heard me out there. I was trying to get her to come inside. We have a little dog ramp that we built for our other greyhound when she got older. And this is like 8 years ago. So now it's starting to kind of fall apart. And our handyman came yesterday to fix it up a little bit, but he fixed it up some. It was like so, and he made it level for her. But we need new plywood to actually go in so it'll last through the winter and so forth. So sometimes she walks very gingerly up that little ramp. So it's pretty cute. But that's my day today. I'm working on a video to come out next Friday. It's on a hexagon puff, how to do a puff hexagon thing for purses or blankets or scarves, whatever you want to make with it. So what is everybody working on? I've got my sweater here. And I got the book ready for chapter 4 for the last 20-minute segment. I got to the red in my sweater. I'm almost done with the red. Yeah, puff stitch. It's a hexagon. The first round is not puff, but is double crochet, but then the subsequent rounds are puff stitches. If you look at the video I did on that purse that I made, the hexagon purse that I made, I'm going to make another one. And so I thought, well, I might as well show people. I kind of showed them the process of how I made the purse, but not the process of how to make the actual hexagon. So I thought, well, I'll do that part and then talk about that stuff. Puff stitch, yes. I like the puff stitch. I think it's kind of fun. I think the one I like most, oh, I forgot I ran out of red yarn. I gotta have to start another thing of red. I did a video on 3D stitches, and this was an earlier one in the spring, I think, maybe the winter. The bobble, oh, thank you for saying my sweater is pretty. I hope it turns out good. The bobble stitch, the bean stitch, the puff stitch, and the popcorn stitch. And I went through, how to do each of those stitches, and I went through how much each stitch took, like how many inches of yarn. And I think the bobble stitch took like 17 inches of yarn or something like that per stitch. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really like the bobble stitch, but man, that is a yarn eater for sure. Looks like somebody else came on. Hello. I'm starting my, I'm on the section of red here of my sweater. I swear that looks like pumpkin brown on the screen. That's the pumpkin, and then the goldish color, and then looks like a cardinal red. Yeah, I thought so too. Oh, hey Bean, how you doing? Okay, another red here. Yeah, isn't that wild? Yeah, orange and red. Oh, there goes my hook. So Bean, what are you working on today? Anybody doing anything exciting? Hopefully some other people will join us here soon. We could have a good chat. Oh, did anybody see Tiffany's giveaway? I didn't win anything. I was kind of disappointed, but I knew she probably had 300 or 400 entries, but at least. Did anybody else watch it on Saturday night? Oh, talk amongst yourself for a minute. I have a phone call from a doctor. Hello? This is Lynn. Uh-huh. Yes. Okay. What day of the week is that? Okay, that works. Great. No, that's fine. I'll put it in my phone. Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. I'm sorry about that, everybody. We got 12 minutes left. But, you never want to miss a phone call from a doctor because God forbid you don't pick it up. It might be weeks before you hear from them again. At least that's how it is in Illinois. Oh, goodness. Okay. You saw it working on the last arm for an octopus. Oh, wow. Oh, you mean of the tentacles being 134 rows of the tentacles? Historic temperature blanket. Why is it historic? Are you being facetious or is it actually historic? 1975. Oh, that's your 70s one that you mentioned. Okay. I'm up to speed now. 75. I was in junior high. Not a good year for me. 50th anniversary. Oh my gosh. Okay, now wait a minute. Oh, you've been married. Yeah, 50 years. In 1975. Well, good for you, Fran. My gosh. That is quite the accomplishment. The arms are 18 inches long. Oh boy, that's a biggie. Yeah. That's a big guy. Is it that Anchor? Is it Anchor the octopus? I've seen him everywhere. Oh, knitted. Okay. Oh wow. A knitted octopus. I do not know how to knit. Let's see. I'm gonna figure out which is the front, which is the back here. Do, 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 do. I tried this on a few days ago and it fit really good. I showed it to my friend Karen, who's been helping me, and she was pretty impressed. So that made me feel good. Let's see here. There's the, okay, that side is right side. I'm sorry if I'm out of sorts today, everybody. I don't mean to be. Okay. Opus the octopus. Okay. Crochet the eyes and a beak for him. Oh, I wish I could see a picture. It sounds very cute. Sounds very cute. Attach this new skein. Sometimes I get to work and I'm like, how do I attach this now? Especially if it's not just a single crochet stitch. Eyes and beak. Oh, I bet that's going to turn out cute. Now, Bean, are you making that for someone? Let's go on this side. Or for a craft show? I made an octopus for my nephew last year. He's a big octopus fan, and he loved it. He carries it everywhere with him. I don't know if he still does, but he was carrying it around with him everywhere when he first got it. It was so cute. It was actually a pattern from Lindsay from Off the Beaten Hook, but it was a paid pattern. But he was kind of complicated. So those octopi can be rather complicated if it's a big one and a one that looks like a real octopus. Let's see. I'm the someone to make. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Why not? How often do we get to crochet for ourselves? Oh, I know something else exciting that happened that I wanted to tell you guys about. 7 minutes. Um, well, last Wednesday, I had a short day last Wednesday. And that evening, my friend Holly over at Stitch is Gonna Stitch, remember I talked about her last week? She gave a shout out to me on her channel, and I was so happy. She it was about, go over and visit her. It's her website or her Facebook. Her YouTube channel is called Stitch is Gonna Stitch. And she put out an episode called Things That Give Her the Ick. And my shout outs toward the end of it, like the last 5 or so minutes. And she said she liked that I test all the patterns that I make before I tell people about them. Like when I do my pattern roundups, I always make them, and that way I can tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of the patterns. And they're usually free Pinterest patterns, the ones that I do. And so she gave me a shout out for actually doing the patterns before I put them out on YouTube. So I was happy. I thought that was really neat. Oh, we got another person joining us. Hello. This is Lynn from Feather Song Crochet. How's everybody doing? I'm just, excuse me, just working on my card again, my first wearable. Yeah, I thought that was awful nice of her to shout me out. And then you remember I also mentioned that doing a retreat maybe next fall for us, whoever wants to come in the Midwest somewhere. And she said she would come to that. So that's exciting. I think she's got a little over 2,000 subs right now. But she's pretty funny. I enjoy listening to her. And we also talked about doing a little collab maybe around Christmas time. So like a live chat collaboration thing. So be looking for that in December, hopefully. I wonder if that's my sister that joined us. That's okay if you want to just lurk, whoever you are. I don't care. That's fine. Oh. So we got somebody working on an octopus, somebody working on a blanket. See, now to me, working on octopus would not be something I would do during this time, but that's me. I like to do mindless things during live chats, the ones I listen to. Oh, the Southeast Fiber Arts Alliance on Saturday for their fleece farmers market. I got half a fleece, a spindle, and a bunch of secondhand yarn. Oh, interesting. Wow. Well, you sure got some good deals there, sounds like. Fleece Farmers Market. Is that the one that's that was in Houston or somewhere? Or Dallas, one of those big cities that a couple other people are going to? Maybe I'm thinking of a different event. Put this down so you can see my puppy when she appears. Because I'm sure she'll appear again and whine and then walk away. So I know a couple of you guys in Texas there were going to some kind of fiber festival, but maybe I'm thinking maybe it was a different one. I don't know how I feel about secondhand yarn. Are you saying like somebody just donated it or used it and frogged it and is selling it? Or I hope you smelled it really good and made sure there wasn't any mites or dust in it. She visits us every week. Oh, okay. Oh, at the farmer's market, that's every week. I gotcha. So you trust her. That's good. Somebody else was just talking about Lucy Kate. She lives in England, and she was talking about red flags when you buy yarn. And one of them was don't buy anything that's looks like it's really messed up before you buy it, or to feel it, to even if you don't have makeup on, to rub it on your face to see the texture of it. You dog? You call me a dog? Hey. It's in Georgia, a little bitty event. Oh, that's right. You're in Georgia. I'm sorry. 8 vendors. And they have yarn donations in there that they sell for good prices. Oh, silk. I've never tried working with silk. Oh, I bet that's nice. I bet that feels nice. Yeah, that would be something I would definitely buy on sale, because I imagine that's pretty pricey. I don't even know any. I'm trying to think if I know any brands that incorporate silk into their yarn. Are there any famous brands that do that? I'd like to try some. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're not calling me a dog. I knew you weren't. Yeah, she'll make an appearance now and then. There in the, if I could point to it. Yeah, there in the doorway. There we go. She'll show up again in a minute, I'm sure. She's a needy hound. Okay. A little under 2 minutes. And then we'll take a break. I got the exercises ready for our break after that. And I got chapter 4 all ready to read in the last 20 minutes. Can't wait to get back to it. I read that book about at least 15 years ago, but it's fun to read it again. And I love the movie. Knitting for Olive has some silk, but it's a little rough. Oh, really? Knitting for Olive. Seems like I've heard of that. Did I tell you guys about our new yarn shop in town? I might have because we went there over Labor Day weekend. But so it's pretty exciting. And they've got a brand. Like I said, I tried to look on their website to see what the brand of the yarn was, and it didn't list it yet. So I think they're still building their website and still getting used to being in a brick and mortar place and so forth. Expression Fiber Arts. Are they out of the USA? I can't imagine silk yarn being rough. Huh. Hobie has some silk blends. Oh, okay. I do shop from them once in a while. But you know what I heard? I can't remember which YouTuber was talking about this. But she ordered something from, I think it was from Hobie, because aren't they out of Sweden? And the tariffs, they're charging extra tariffs now. So it was like $7 for shipping, which is not bad. But she said it was like another $7 or $8 for extra tariffs on top of that. So I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's worth checking out. Definitely. I'm going to check it out. Ooh, okay. Okay, 5-minute break. Oh, I go stretch. I need to get rid of these drawers. I got to find a place to put them because they're just obviously they're an eyesore sitting here. But there's honestly, I need to do a major haul of my house to get everything done. And I have friends coming to visit. I'm going to put down my hook for a few minutes. I have friends coming to visit in October. So, and it's a mother and a daughter. She's about my age and her daughter's about my daughter's age. And we've known them for years and years. So they're coming for my birthday next month. And so Sue sleeps on the couch and her daughter Jessie sleeps on the living room couch because we don't really have a lot of extra space here. It's a 3-bedroom home, but we got my bedroom. And I told Sue, I said, you can sleep with me in my queen bed. I don't care. And then we got this office, and then we have Tab's room. So, and then we have 2 bathrooms, a master and a guest bathroom. But it seems like the longer we live here, the more crowded this house becomes, just with stuff, not with people, unfortunately. North Carolina. Okay. So Expression Fiber Arts. I'm going to write that down. Not to be macabre or anything, but did you hear about that woman in Charlotte, North Carolina that got stabbed on the train? She is from Ukraine. And it's horrible. I'm like, why in the world? And this was like a career criminal person, but I thought, North Carolina? That just seems so odd. So sad. Fiber Arts. No, Expression Fiber Arts. Expression Fiber Arts. Oh, something else I want to mention. Holly mentioned me on her YouTube episode last week. I got about 10 subscribers from that, but I'm at 99. So I'm so ready for that triple-digit number. Yeah, I am so ready for that. So spread the word. I'm just so anxious to get that 100 subs. It's pretty funny. I think I am going to have a celebration giveaway in early November when my 1-year anniversary is of being on YouTube. So I have a couple ideas of things I'm going to give away I think you guys will like. So hopefully I can get some more members and give everybody a chance on winning something neat. Oh, yeah, isn't there just so much sad news out in the world today? Sometimes I don't even want to watch the 5:30 news. Sometimes I just skip it. When we come next week, it will be 100. Okay, it's your prediction. Okay, thank you. That would make me so happy. I've tried asking a couple people, and if they would subscribe, and they're like, "Oh, I already am." I'm like, but there's no way, supposedly there's a way to see a list of your subscribers, but I can't. I Googled it and I can't figure out how to do it. So anyway, let's think positive and there'll be 100 next week. I did get a big bump when Tiffany handed this over to me, and then it kind of flatlined for a little bit. And then last week I got about another 10 or so. But yeah, I'm right at 99. Okay, one more minute and I'll get started again. I'm going to get a tissue up here. Excuse me. Okay. There we go. Maybe this week I can actually get this room cleaned up. All right, let's start. Let's start, ladies. I think they're all ladies here. 20 minutes. Get back to my sweater. Yeah, here we go. Well, okay. Yeah, I was hoping to finish this by my birthday next month, but I'm really hoping by the end of the month I will finish. I'd like to start wearing it in October. What else shall we talk about today, folks? Oh, I do have one more thing I was going to ask you guys. Let me get the yarn and show you. Let's see. Okay, so my daughter works at a school, and it's the school she actually went to high school, where she went to high school. She's working in special ed with a junior high girl. I think I told you guys that. But she has met she was in band and choir and all that, so she was a band geek kid. And she has met the band director. And he's young, like her. He's about her age. And every February, they do a fundraiser. It's at during one of the basketball games, and the band play. It's a band fundraiser. And there used to be a woman that made a quilt. Not every year. She made a quilt one year. I can't remember what she made the year before that. But I thought, oh, this year, I don't think she has any more kids in school anymore, so she probably won't be making it. But I thought I could crochet a blanket for the raffle. Excuse me. So their colors at this school, the New Berlin Pretzels, their colors are orange and blue. So I got this Premier Anti-Pilling Everyday Worship Gradient. Now, I've never worked with gradient yarn before. So I'm hoping maybe you guys can give me some idea on what kind of stitches would be good. I was thinking the blanket stitch and I got 2 of each. So there's 3, let's see, how many yards is this? No, I did know, 360. So I got 2 orange and 2 blue. But I thought about putting a white in between, a white stripe in between. So I'm debating whether to do all orange and then the white stripe, and then all blue, and then white, or like white stripe, orange, white stripe, blue, white stripe. I don't know. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, they're so soft. I love Premier. That's one of my favorite go-to yarns. And it's really soft. And I love their colors. I love orange and blue. So, so I don't know what are your guys' suggestions? Should I do blue, white, orange, white, blue, white, orange? Because I'm thinking if I do all gradient in this one, it's going to go, let's see, okay, pull here. So it's going to go light to dark, and then it's going to go light to dark if I put these two together. Would that look okay? Or should I do orange, white stripe, blue, white stripe, kind of mix them up with the orange and the blue. Here's the blue again. And that also starts light. They figured out the center pull. Can you believe it? Yeah. I thought only What's that one brand that does that? Oh, it's something. It's one that Elise Rose uses a lot that has the center pole. But anyway, I'm like, yay for Premiere for doing the center pole. So Fran votes for mixing it up. Okay, so orange and then a white stripe, then blue, then a white stripe, then orange, white stripe, blue. I think that would look pretty. Yeah, I think you may be right about that. But yeah, I'm going to get started on that because the fundraiser is in, it's like mid-February. And I told Tail I'm going to have to send him an email because I don't know the guy, but I said next time you see Colton, tell him that I'm going to be making a blanket for the raffle, so that'll be fun. Thank you, Fran. I hope it turns out pretty. Anybody have an idea on what kind of stitch would look good with those gradient colors besides a blanket stitch? I've made blankets in all kinds of stitches, but I've never used a blanket stitch. Oh. And my paper for the exercise time coming up. Okay. Okay, almost done with this row. Go for it since you never used it before. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I actually did a tutorial on one of my videos was a tutorial on the blanket stitch and the waffle stitch, and I had never even done the blanket stitch, so I had to learn it and then teach it online. Well, stitch looks good with it. Oh, okay. That's one that's kind of spiky, right? It's got like little spikes. That would be pretty. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll use different stitches, like in the colors, the colorway I'll use one stitch, and in the white stripe, maybe a different stitch. Moss stitch. Oh yeah, I'll have to look that up. I've seen it. I just don't know offhand how to do it. Is that a 2-row repeat? Bean? Excuse me. 13 minutes. That's definitely not a stitch that's a yarn eater, I don't believe, because it looks pretty small. I'm sorry. Looks like a couple other people have joined us, maybe. Hello out there. Welcome to Wednesday WIP Knockout. We got people working on blankets, amigurumi, wearables. We do it all here. It's where you single crochet and chain, and the next row you put single crochets into the chain. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I can kind of picture that in my head. That sounds very easy, and that's all there is to it. So single crochet and chain, and then when you turn it over, you do the single crochet into the chain, and then just keep repeating single crochet chain. Oops, I gotta mark my row. Swatch with both. Oh yeah. Well, duh. I should have thought of that. Thank you, Fran. I should do a swatch with both of them. Yeah. Very simple. It's a nice texture. Okay. Huh. Oh, that sounds nice. Okay, another row down. You do too, Fran? Well, I just might try that then. I have seen that. I don't know what kind of yarn it is, but where it looks like the spike part is like a different color from the stitch. I'm not sure how they do that, but maybe it is because of the colorway that they use. But that is pretty. I've never used that before. That would be something new to try. So this weekend I will try both. And then maybe next Wednesday, I probably won't have the sweater done, but it'll be further along, this cardigan. Maybe I'll start on the blanket next week and show you guys. I have just been crocheting away the last few days. I made some, I have a market on October 4th, and I made some little swinging birdies, like you put on your car rearview mirror. And I made a chick and a duck, a chicken and a duck and a hawk. And I guess sell them for $10 each. They take a little bit to work up. And they sold out. Last time I had them, I had like 3, and they all sold out pretty early. So I think people really like those. So I've been making those. And what else did I just finish? I did a dolphin. Oh, I definitely got to make another pumpkin. I think I've shown you guys that pumpkin pie I made. It's like a pumpkin pie, and it's got a little white cat sticking out of it. So I figure since it's October, I should make another one of those. He was fun to make. And then another bat. I want to make another bat. And then I've got a bunch of sea creatures that are just one-offs of, when I did all that pattern testing for Lindsay from Off the Beaten Hook, I did the puffer fish and the lobster and the crab, walrus, something else. Anyway, I've got a lot of sea creatures. I took inventory over Labor Day, and I do have a lot, but I don't have a lot of doubles of everything. So, I mean, I like having variety at my shops, but I think it's also good to have, if a person likes a certain something, to have more than one choice of what color or whatever. Now, do any of you guys do craft fairs? Do markets? No for Fran. How about you, Bean? Who else we got on here? I thought we had 3-person. Maybe I'm the third person. Okay. Fran and Bean. Not me. I don't usually repeat a pattern. Oh, okay. So you just like make different things each time. Well, that's adventurous. Yeah, we've got a lot of good markets up here, but I tell you, it's a lot of work. Now that I'm getting up there in age, I did them when I was doing glass. When I did my glass blowing, I went to quite a few markets and did okay. But boy, I was real happy when I did my first crochet market back in April at the same venue I'm going to be at next month. And I cleared like $300. I was happy for that to be my first time. And it's for me, it's fun. I'm kind of an extrovert, so I like meeting people and seeing what else is out there. And in the fall, in the spring, they do it just inside the mansion. But in the fall, they also have on the lawn outside, they have vendors there too. So it's very well-traveled, well-attended event. So Bean, do you get most of your patterns, do you buy patterns or do you find them on Pinterest or Instagram? Yeah, I was really happy that I did that well. I had a couple customers that bought multiples, of things too, which was fun. But I found out I'm not going to have my same spot I had in the spring, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. They save that for people that have a few more tables. But it was so nice. It was right by a big window in the front of the mansion and in like a little parlor area. But hopefully I'll be on the other side. They have like a little fireplace and there's another window there. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's see what we got here. We got 5 minutes. I just love sitting here talking to you guys. I really do. I look forward to every Wednesday and coming and see what everybody's working on and what y'all are doing. I'm trying to think if anything else has been happening around here. I tell you, it's been nice. The weather's been really nice, but we have had no rain for about 3 weeks. I think we had one night, like overnight, it rained a couple weeks ago, but it is so dry here. Our lawns, all our lawns are looking bad, and we do definitely need some rain, but it's not in the forecast for the next few days. Bean uses Ravelry a lot. Okay, sometimes I pattern test. Occasionally I get library books that use Libby for magazines. Libby. I don't know what Libby is. That's a good idea to go to the library and get pattern books. I haven't tried that yet. I'm betting our library downtown has. I mean, I'm sure they do have some. But that's a great idea because there's so many. It seems like there's so many out there. But for me, it's like, I don't know if I want to buy an entire book if I'm going to make a couple of the designs. I don't know. I know that one, that Pika Pal book. If anybody has that, it's Elise Rose got started with the Pika Pal, and she talks about that one. And those look really cute. That's a certain style that I really like it, but some of them look kind of tough to make. It's an online library resource where you can look at ebooks or magazines. Oh, Libby. Wow. That is a good tip. That is a really good tip. Okay. Now I got to write that down too, because I will forget if I don't. Resource. Okay. Get down to the wire, people. That is definitely a good tip. I'm going to have to try that out because, I mean, I go on Pinterest, but it takes some time to review those patterns because you have to go on the site if they let you. You have to realize what's AI, what's not. You got to read through the whole pattern to make sure it looks, doable. So, I mean, I guess it's worth it for being free because I don't have a lot of paid patterns. Got a handful, not very many. Well, I probably got more than I think because I just went from a 1-inch binder to a 2-inch. So I do have some written patterns. A lot of them are from Tony from TL Yarn Crafts because she has free Friday giveaway patterns. I don't know if any of you have joined her little group. Minute and a half. But yeah, every Friday she puts out a free pattern. Sometimes it's a wearable. It's been baskets and totes, hats. I'm not sure how long she's doing that for, but I can't remember. I think I paid $1 maybe. Maybe I didn't pay anything. Maybe I just signed up. And every Friday she gives you a free pattern to download. Now there have been a couple things, of course, I wasn't really interested in, but there's been a few I thought, I'm going to make this one day. One day. Libby is generally free with your library card. Wow. My library also lets you on Craftsy for a week at a time. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Huh. You mean to use it while you're there at the library on their computers or at home? Did some, and it's not a challenge anymore. Yeah, I like a challenge, and I use Reverie also. Something every Friday. Oh, okay. So Expression Arts is that local. Is that the same one with Expression Fiber that someone was talking about? One of you guys was talking about? You guys must have a boatload of patterns saved up. Week-long at-home subscription. You can use the week-long every week. I will have to try that out. That is wild. Yeah, I'm not a big pattern repeater unless it's something small and something I like to make. Oh, there we go. Okay, put down your hooks. It's exercise time or stretching time. I don't know if you'd call it exercise. Maybe you would. I call it stretch time. Okay. All right, so the first one we're going to do, again, we're going to work from top down. Everybody ready? Oh, wait. You have 50. Oh, Bean says she has 15 whips around me and my cue is out of the door. My gosh. You got a lot of whips going on. No wonder you're here on Wednesday. Okay. All right. So first one is shoulder flexion. You're just going to go straight up and you could clasp your hands if that helps you. That helps me to lift my bad arm up high and just stretch. Even stretch your back. That feels good. So that's shoulder flexion. And then the other way is shoulder extension. Just reach back behind you. So your arm is, let me do this way, it's my better arm. Your arm's going back. That's extension. And again, you can clasp your hands. And you get a good view. And then just reach back. Okay, let's try one more. Arms up, shoulder flexion, stretch back. Oh, stretch into it. Oh, I feel it my shoulders and my lower back. That's a nice one. Okay, and then extension one more time. Reach. Okay. All right, now we're going to do same thing at the trunk. So this is at your waist. You're going to lean over. And if you got something to lean on in front of you, stretch your trunk, but try to extend your lower back a little bit as you're doing it. And then extend your back. So you can either use your hands on your armrest to kind of support yourself while you go back. Or if you're able, you can do an actual back bend. I'm too old for those anymore. Let's stretch them back. And honestly, we don't really need the ones going forward, but we'll do it anyway. Because as I've said before, we spend most of our life in flexion. And the extension part is what we need most when we stretch. So get that. With me, my lower back, I have arthritis in my lower back, so that feels good. Okay, that's the trunk. And now we're going to do, fingers. We're just going to do your basic open and close. My daughter, over the weekend, she came home from work on Friday, I think it was, and her hands were itching something awful. And she had been on antibiotics for a gum disease, a gum infection. And so the next day she started itching. I thought, it's got to be the antibiotics. Well, we went to prompt care Monday because she was still feeling bad. And they told her it was hand, foot, and mouth disease. And I'm like, really? I mean, she didn't have all the symptoms. She had maybe half of them, but it wasn't as severe as the pictures we saw, online. But anyway, that's what they said it was. And so there's really nothing you can do for it. She had to miss another day of work, which she was very worried about because she's new there, And now we're going to open and close the fingers and really stretch. But yeah, her fingers were swollen. She could barely, squeeze her hands. She couldn't hold on to stuff. And the bottom of her feet were so itchy. I Felt bad for her, but now, well, she went on Benadryl. She stopped the antibiotics like that day, and she started taking Benadryl, and that has helped some. But it just kind of it started going away more yesterday. So I thought, poor kid. Okay, now let's kind of focus on the thumb. Let's do some thumb rolls. I also have some arthritis in my thumb, so this feels good. When I go to the nail salon once a month and get my acrylic fill in on my nails, she will kind of squeeze my thumb when she's working on them, and I jump and I tell her, but I think she forgets every time that I have arthritic thumbs. But I really got to watch it when I'm crocheting that I don't do, a long, long time of it. Okay, we got one more minute. Let's just do some wrist rolls. Yep, hear them crack. There you go. Okay. All right. Time to get crocheting again, ladies. Our last 20 minutes. So let me get my book. You can just relax. We don't have to talk. We don't have to do anything but work on our WIPs. Well, you guys will be working. I'll be reading. Okay. Let me take a drink. Yes, it does feel good to stretch, doesn't it? It's amazing. Okay. Chapter 4, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. See what the Dashwoods are up to this chapter. What a pity it is, Eleanor, said Marianne, that Edward should have no taste for drawing. No taste for drawing, replied Eleanor. Why should you think so? He does not draw himself, indeed, but he has great pleasure in seeing the performances of other people, and I assure you he is by no means deficient in natural taste, though he has not had opportunities of improving it. Had he ever been in the way of learning, I think he would have drawn very well. He distrusts his own judgment in such matters so much that he is always unwilling to give his opinion on any picture. But he has an innate propriety and simplicity of taste, which in general direct him perfectly right. Marianne was afraid of offending her and said no more on the subject, but the kind of approbation which Eleanor described as excited in him by the drawings of other people was very far from that rapturous delight which, in her opinion, could alone be called taste. Yet, though smiling within herself at the mistake, she honored her sister for that blind partiality to Edward which produced it. I hope, Marianne, continued Eleanor, you do not consider him as a deficient in general taste. Indeed, I think I may say that you cannot, for your behavior to him is perfectly cordial. And if that were your opinion, I am sure you could never be civil to him. Marianne hardly knew what to say. She would not wound the feelings of her sister on any account, and yet to say what she did not believe was impossible. So at length she replied, do not be offended, Eleanor, if my praise of him is not in everything equal to your sense of his merits. I have not had so many opportunities of estimating the minuter propensities of his mind, his inclinations and tastes as you have, but I have the highest opinion in the world of his goodness and sense. I think him everything that is worthy and amiable. I am sure, replied Eleanor with a smile, that his dearest friends could not be dissatisfied with such a commendation as that. I do not perceive how you could express yourself more warmly. Marianne was rejoiced to find her sister so easily pleased. Of his sense and his goodness, continued Eleanor, no one can, I think, be in doubt, who has seen him often enough to engage him in unreserved conversation. The excellence of his understanding and his principles can be concealed only by that shyness which too often keeps him silent. You know enough of him to do justice to his solid worth, but of his minuter propensities, as you call them, you have from peculiar circumstances been kept more ignorant than myself. He and I have been at times thrown a good deal together, while you have been wholly engrossed on the most affectionate principle by my mother. I've seen a great deal of him and studied his sentiments and heard his opinion on subjects of literature and taste, and upon the whole, I venture to pronounce that his mind is well informed, his enjoyment of books exceedingly great, his imagination lively, his observation just and correct, and his taste delicate and pure. His abilities in every respect improve as much upon acquaintance as his manners in person. At first sight, his address is certainly not striking, and his person can hardly be called handsome, till the expression of his eyes, which are uncommonly good, and the general sweetness of his countenance is perceived. At present, I know him so well that I think him really handsome, or at least almost so. What do you say, Marianne? I shall very soon think him handsome, Eleanor, if I do not now. When you tell me to love him as a brother, I shall no more see imperfection in his face than I now do in his heart. Eleanor started at this declaration and was sorry for the warmth she had been betrayed into in speaking of him. She felt that Edward stood very high in her opinion. She believed the regard to be mutual, but she required great certainty of it to make Marianne's conviction of their attachment agreeable to her. She knew that Marianne and her mother conjectured one moment, they believed the next, that with them, to wish was to hope, and to hope was to expect. She tried to explain the real state of the case to her sister. I do not attempt to deny, she said, that I think very highly of him, that I greatly esteem, and that I like him. Marianne here burst forth with indignation. Esteem him, like him, cold-hearted Eleanor. Oh, worse than cold-hearted, ashamed of being otherwise. Use those words again, and I will leave the room this moment. Eleanor could not help laughing. Excuse me, she said, and be assured that I meant no offense to you by speaking, in so quiet a way, of my own feelings. Believe them to be stronger than I've declared. Believe them, in short, to be such as his merit, and the suspicion, the hope of his affection for me may warrant, without imprudence or folly. But farther than this you must not believe. I am by no means assured of his regard for me. There are moments when the extent of it seems doubtful. Until his sentiments are fully known, you cannot wonder at my wishing to avoid any encouragement of my own partiality, by believing or calling it more than it is. In my heart I feel little, scarcely any doubt of his preference, but there are other points to be considered besides his inclination. He's very far from being independent. What his mother really is, we cannot know, but from Fanny's occasional mention of her conduct and opinions, we have never been disposed to think her amiable, and I'm very much mistaken if Edward is not himself aware that there would be many difficulties in his way if he were to wish to marry a woman who had not either a great fortune or high rank. Marianne was astonished to find out how much the imagination of her mother and herself had outstripped the truth. And you really are not engaged to him, said she. Yet it certainly will happen soon. But two advantages will proceed from this delay. I shall not lose you so soon, and Edward will have greater opportunity of improving that natural taste for your favorite pursuit, which must be so indispensably necessary to your future felicity. Oh, if he should be so far stimulated by your genius as to learn to draw himself, how delightful that would be. Eleanor had given her real opinion to her sister. She could not consider her partiality for Edward in so preposterous a state as Marianne had believed it. There was at times a want of spirits about him, which, if it did not denote indifference, spoke as something almost as unpromising. A doubt of her regard, supposing him to feel it, need not give him more than inquietude. Inquietude. I don't know that word. It would not be likely to produce that dejection of mind which frequently attended him. A more reasonable cause might be found in the dependent situation which forbade the indulgence of his affection. She knew that his mother neither behaved to him so as to make him home comfortable at present, nor to give him any assurance that he might form a home for himself, without strictly attending to her views for his aggrandizement. With such a knowledge as this, it was impossible for Eleanor to feel easy on the subject. She was far from depending on that result of his preference for her, which her mother and sister still considered as certain. Nay, the longer they were together, the more doubtful seemed the nature of his regard, and sometimes, for a few painful minutes, she believed it to be no more than a friendship. But whatever might really be its limits, it was enough, when perceived by his sister, to make her uneasy, and at the same time, which was still more common, to make her uncivil. She took the first opportunity of affronting her mother-in-law on the occasion, talking to her so expressively of her brother's great expectations, of Mrs. Farrar's resolution that both her sons should marry well, and of the danger attending any young woman who has attempted to draw him in. that Mrs. Dashwood could neither pretend to be unconscious nor endeavor to be calm. She gave her an answer which marked her contempt and instantly left the room, resolving that whatever might be the inconvenience of expense of so sudden a removal, her beloved Eleanor should not be exposed another week to such insinuations. In this state of her spirits, a letter was delivered to her from the post, which contained a proposal particularly well timed. It was the offer of a small house on very easy terms, belonging to a relation of her own, a gentleman of consequence and property in Devonshire. The letter from this gentleman himself, it was from him himself, and written in the true spirit of friendly accommodation. He understood that she was in need of a dwelling, and though the house he offered her was merely a cottage, he assured her that everything should be done to it which she might think necessary, if that situation pleased her. He earnestly pressed her, after giving the particulars of the house and garden, to come with her daughters to Barton Park, the place of his own residence, from whence she might judge herself whether Barton Cottage, for the houses were in the same parish, could by any alteration be made comfortable to her. He seemed really anxious to accommodate them, and the whole of his letter was written in so friendly a style as could not fail of giving pleasure to his cousin, more especially at a moment when she was suffering under the cold and unfeeling behavior of her nearer connections. She needed no time for deliberation or inquiry. Her resolution was formed as she read. The situation of Barton, in a county so far distant from Sussex as Devonshire, which but a few hours before would have been a sufficient objection to outweigh every possible advantage belonging to the place, was now its first recommendation. To quit the neighborhood of Norland was no longer an evil, it was an object of desire. It was a blessing, in comparison to the misery of continuing her daughter-in-law's guest, and to remove forever from that beloved place would be less painful than to inhabit or visit it while such a woman was its mistress. She instantly wrote Sir John Middleton and her acknowledgment of his kindness and her acceptance of his proposal, and then hastened to show both letters to her daughters, that she might be secure of their approbation before her answers were sent. Eleanor had always thought it would be more prudent for them to settle at some distance from Norland than immediately amongst their present acquaintance. On that head, therefore, it was not for her to oppose her mother's intention of removing into Devonshire. The house, too, as described by Sir John, was on so simple a scale, and the rent so uncommonly moderate, as to leave her no right of objection on either point. And therefore, though it was not a plan which brought any charm to her fancy, though it was a removal from the vicinity of Norland beyond her wishes, she made no attempt to dissuade her mother from sending her letter of acquiescence. Wow. We have 7 minutes left. That was quite a chapter. I need to look up some of these words. But so it sounds like Eleanor is confused whether Edward is really pining for her or whether he just considers it a friendship. And it seems Marianne and the mother think, oh yeah, he's going to ask her to marry him. But it seems like the mother, Mrs. Dashwood, is very anxious to get out of that house with her mean-spirited, that would be her stepdaughter-in-law. It's her stepson's wife, yeah. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that chapter. Next week, oh, wait a minute. Oh, that was chapter 3, I'm sorry. Next week is chapter 4, and it's fairly short. So we'll read chapter 4 next time. Yeah, that took over 10 minutes to read that chapter. Because I like to go slow, and I like to, understand what I'm reading. That's what I like about classics. I think you really have to get your mind ready to read that kind of old English, and it makes you think. You enjoyed it. Oh, thank you, Fran. I did too. I wish we would have had more people on today. I wonder where everybody is. Usually we have close to a dozen people. Excuse me. So thank you. I'm going to get back to my sweater for a few minutes, and then we will wrap up. Let's see. I'm going to rest my voice for a moment. It's funny when I read that book, I always think of the because I've seen the movie. I always think of the actors that play the characters in the movie, and it's funny when they say that Edward is not handsome, as I think Hugh Grant is very good looking. But and I do love. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you this, Emma Thompson. Yeah, Emma Thompson, who played Eleanor. She's been in hundreds of things. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. She was on SNL, Saturday Night Live, a few years ago, and she did a skit with Leslie Jones that is a riot. If you guys want to have a good belly laugh, look up SNL skit with Emma Thompson and Leslie Jones about Leslie is visiting her ancestor, not her ancestor, her cousin. What's William's wife? What's her name? Meghan Markle. She's going there to visit for the baby's, what do you call it? Christening or something. And so anyway, she has to be taught by some manners by Emma Thompson. It's funny. So you can go to YouTube and enjoy that. I don't know. I think Saturday Night Live has kind of gone downhill a little bit. I don't know if you guys watch it, but I mean, it's okay, but I like the cast that was on with Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon and those guys that were on a few years ago. They still have some good people, but it's just not quite as belly busting as it used to be. Let's see what we got here. 4 minutes. Just under 4 minutes. So maybe we can get some more folks next week. There are people that watch it, the next day, the recorded part the next day. There's some, but I mean, I never do that when I watch other people's lives. I never really watch much of it the next day. Sometimes for a little bit, but it's just more fun to be in a live chat, I think, than to watch it recorded. But oops. Okay. There we go. So you guys have any plans coming up for the week? Anything exciting? Any fall trips coming up? Excuse me. We have people coming to visit, but we're not making any trips ourselves. Nothing going on here. Okay. That's the way I like it in retired life, isn't it? Not a lot going on. And people ask me what I do during the day. I say crochet and, run errands if I have to. But honestly, I don't go out of the house every single day, usually every other. But, if you go out, you spend money. And so I tend to stay home more than I go out. There's plenty to do around this house. Bean, you still with us? You got anything exciting going on this fall? Might head to the state fair. Oh, your state fair is in September? Wow, that's funny. I guess in Georgia you can get by with that. But, that's wild. Now, so is that in Atlanta? I'm assuming the state fair is in. Well, maybe I shouldn't assume that. I thought all of them were always in the capital of the state. Maybe not. Is it like a week-long state fair? Here it's It's always like early to mid-August, and it's 10 days. Let's see. And Fran, I have been to the Ohio State Fair when I was a kid. Uh, that was always a lot of fun. I know that's in Columbus, so have you ever been to it, Fran? I can't remember how long you've lived in Ohio. Multiple state fairs. Oh, really? I think here in Illinois, I think there is another state fair that's in southern Illinois, but it's not as popular, I don't think, and it's only a few days. You've never been to the state fair? Oh my gosh. I used to love the Ohio State Fair. They had so much there. Now, I don't know if Ohio has more than that one, but that's always in like, whoops, time's up, folks. That state fair, I think, is in June or July. We would go every year. We saw the Herman's Hermits there when I was a kid. We saw Osmond Brothers maybe one time. Oh, my favorite one was I got to see Bobby Sherman. I was in love with Bobby Sherman. I know, Luna, we're almost done. But I had a huge crush on Bobby Sherman. And so he started singing, and I remember I held up my little pennant I had that said, "I love you, Bobby." And he pointed to me and he said, "I love you too up there." That's my claim to fame. Bobby Sherman told me he loved me. And then I read that he died last month, so that made me a little bit sad. But time marches on. What can you do? Okay, ladies, so I guess we will sign off for now. Maybe we'll get more people next week that'll chat us up. And yeah, there she is. I knew she'd be here whining before we were done. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Same time, same channel. Bye, guys.